All right. You like my llamas? All right, let me get this open for you. All right. Late night stream. Try to get one trade before I go to sleep, guys. I'm just going to stream every time I trade because why not? All right. Okay, there you go. Got it down. Nope, not that. SoundCloud. Oh, we'll do Spotify with the ads, I guess. Grab liquidity. Could actually move lower here. You scroll out. We did grab liquidity right there, so we could potentially move back down to the line I have. Grab the bottom liquidity down here. That's a potential. I don't know. Let's see. Just look for a setup here. Okay, we'll see. Oh, let me get the thing up. Where did it go?
Broken promises, oh, they just haunt me. I'm locked inside, these feelings can't be free. We were happy, maybe that was just me. All I can remember is how you promised me. You said that you'd be here, but why I'm here alone? I wasted everything, now I got nothing. Oh, time is all I have, but you took it again. Now I'm here wishing for a time machine, time machine.
Perfect. Do I have it working now? Sick. Let's go. All right. Well, what am I looking for? I mean, I'm looking for this liquidity. I do believe we're gonna be lower right here. Probably grab this high at this area. This is acting as minor liquidity. I'm just gonna do this. This is my idea currently. We could do something like this. That might be a trade opportunity, or it might be the opposite way. And if it's this way, I'm not taking a trade because it's against the trend, the higher time frame trend. So this is a red entry for me. And then I will not, with this one, if it does grab this liquidity, but it stays within this high and low, this is the area I want to see it bounce off of. I don't want to see it come lower because it doesn't have a clean area to bounce off lower. I don't mind if it grabs the liquidity, like it grabs this area down here. But this is the lowest area I would want to see. So we'll see which one. This is kind of the ideal entry, if it gives me a setup. This is the one that I don't want to see happen first. Hey, how's it going, Jelani? Did I get Galani? How's it going, man? Hey! I hope it's a different time zone for you, otherwise, I don't know why you're up at this time. Oh, from India, okay. Yeah, how's it going? If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm happy to answer. Hey, what's up, John? How's it going, man?
Spotifyers. Click or tap the
Okay, and
banner
here's
to listen to lo-fi beats.
I know I
Beats,
need to get Spotify Premium, okay? I get it. I've had people say that several times. But how are you guys doing today? I just refuse. I don't listen to Spotify that much other than for streams. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. The pairs that what I trade primarily is, yeah, I refuse. Like, look, I want to show you guys something. Look how many ads this is. 5 ads, and I played 1 song. Like, it's ridiculous. I only trade Nasdaq and I trade gold. I don't trade gold in the midnight session. I only trade Nasdaq during the midnight session. During London session because it gets too, it's too slow for me. It looks like it's doing this entry. It's gonna grab this top side zone right here and then work its way down. Oh, you can use Udify? Oh, thank you. Let me look that up. Oh, let me do it through here. Let's see if that helps. I never even heard of that. Let me see. It looks like it's a download. I might have to do that off stream. Get it working. Here's the setup. It grabbed that liquidity. I thought it would go a little bit higher. Actually, that's ideal if this comes down and then leaves this area up here, because I do believe that this will retest a little bit further. This is now acting as the liquidity I would like to see it reverse on. On mobile app. Okay. Let me see. I see it, yeah. I'm still on ad 5 out of 5 out of 5. That's crazy. Oh, it says it's removed from the Google store for me. I have to do it through Apple, or I can download it separately through a sketchy site. I might look at it though. I've never heard of it, so let me double check. For Android as well. There's actual Utify, but I don't know how much I trust this. Play Store or App Store? Okay, thank you. Oh, let me do Microsoft Store, see if that works. I'm not seeing anything on trades, by the way, for anyone wondering, anyone watching. I don't see any trades yet. I'm waiting for an entry down here to see if it gives me the setup down here. I don't want to see it reach all the way down here because then it's a little bit too weak for me, especially since we just grabbed the liquidity on a new range high. So I'm just waiting to see how this reacts. It's also in a pretty good area for a bounce as well. Okay, I'm looking at it through the Microsoft Store to see if it's there. The place, I don't have Play Store or anything. I'm clicking Play Store, and then App Store I don't have on my computer. For some reason, I don't know why it's not downloaded. Is that, yeah. I look a lot younger than I am, by the way, so. But yeah, it's good. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to get it fixed for next stream. I'll look more into it because I'm looking for a free.
Share and more. Listen now on Spotify.
It still ads. Oh, actually, I do like Daredevil, so. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, this is my analysis here. Is I'm looking for a trade to go, long right now. That's basically it. The account you saw right here, I've had to build up. I was doing a challenge and I ended up accidentally trading on this account. So challenge over, I guess. I trade on this account instead of my actual funded one. I do trade gold. I trade the gold on futures, but I do trade gold. Let me see. If sometimes my strategy doesn't show that well with gold. Looks like, let me zoom out. You grabbed a high, grabbed a low. I think what I was saying with gold originally is I do think gold will move down. I was originally planning for it to hit up here and then start to reverse down, but I do think gold is going to give me more of a retest. But there's a high potential likelihood. I'm from the U.S., from the East Coast of the U.S. It's 2 a.m. for me right now, 2 o'clock in the morning. I think gold will either show us a lot of strength after grabbing some sort of liquidity moving up to here. Moving up to that area, or it will continue up to here, show a lot of weakness when we get to around this range up there, and then a reverse. So that's on the higher time frame. For the 100, I'm a little bit bullish right now, but I want to see a good setup. I'm thinking gold will move up. Yeah, it's in a consolidation, sort of, so I don't really want to take a trade until it gives me my setup. I trade a lot of reversals, using, I guess, what people call fair value gaps, but generally just imbalances that form on the breakout of liquidity in the favor of the higher time frame trend. And then my second one is using Fibonacci's, following a trend. So, for example, if we broke a trend, like here, this would be a trade right here. Or would it? Let me double check. Yeah, this would be a trade right here. This would be a long. And the reason this is a long is we saw all the strength, this power move up. We grabbed the higher time frame structure liquidity. And then our wick, this was the kind of the gap that formed with this candle that broke. It closed above. My entry is anywhere within this gap. It doesn't matter. Stop loss right here. And either the best likelihood is hitting a 1 to 2 for most of these trades, but you could even target the next structure high, which I could target up to here or target a little bit safer. That's why I'm generally bullish for this. That does not mean that this won't push back down to here. Like come back down to this area and then push its way back up to this line. Top Step. I'm funded through Top Step. I'm not full-time though. Just be aware of that. I am not a full-time trader, and I'm very inconsistent in terms of when I trade off stream. On stream, I'm pretty consistent now. It's kind of funny. When I trade off stream, especially during my school year, I trade pretty bad. And I'll be complete. I'm doing my doctorate for psychology. So I have a year left of that.
I feel liberated.
How are we still at? Oh, you have to leave it up. You gotta leave. It won't let you skip ads when it's just minus. That explains a lot. So it did exactly what I didn't want to see it do. It grabbed this. It's probably going to reverse back down and come down to this gapped area. And the reason I didn't want to see that is because I would prefer to have seen a move down here to leave this open space over here to move back into. It just gives it more of a chance of working out. Funded account. So these are my challenge accounts right here. Here's both my challenge. This is one. And then this is the other one that I'm working on currently. And that's all I trade on stream. But it's through Top Step. We don't have a lot of regulated brokers in the US, nor do we have a lot of brokers that are offered to us. Prop firms, futures is a lot more friendly than stocks are. Stocks or forexes. Which I've traded everything. I've traded stocks, I've traded forex, I've done options, I've done basically everything. And when I say traded, I don't mean gambling. I mean like spending. During COVID, I would say I spent about 10 hours a day, 9 hours a day in my room just studying. Did I grab a high? No, it didn't. And then finally, I've locked in on a strategy I've been using for the past year, which has helped my trading significantly. Beforehand, I was trying to trade multiple different strategies. And after just giving up and back testing everything, it's worked out a lot better this way. Yeah, so it's helped out a lot. And if you see me looking this way, this is where I can see the chat. And then this way is where I see my actual trading screen. Yeah, you gotta be very careful, because some of them that have very easy rules will fraud you. You just gotta stick with anything that's regulated, and if it's not regulated and refuse to pay you out, then you can escalate it. But I assume it's a lot harder with, I don't know much about like how the government or the regulations work with trading prop firms in India. Over here, they're very strict on the rules and regulations they allow in the payout policies, which is nice, I guess, but our account challenge is a lot more expensive. For example, each one of these accounts are either $50 or $100 to even take the challenge. US dollars. Sorry, I'm trying to get my share up. This might be a setup, to be honest. If this holds this area. I'm still in belief that this is moving down back into this range down here. I might be wrong, but yeah, it just sucks. Prop firms, it's a good way to for new traders to get into it. I mean, they just removed in the USA the pattern day trading rule, which means it doesn't limit our trades per week. But the fees have gotten so much more expensive from that. So I still just won't touch stocks unless it's investing in the future. I just don't love stocks. Plus, there's just a bunch of stocks there's not a lot of liquidity in, and all stocks move within its sector. I'm 28. Like, 27, 28. God, actually, that's my age. 27. That sounds bad, but it really, the past few years have been a blur to me. Could have been an entry. Maybe it will just come straight up. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but I still doubt it. This lines up perfectly with my area, so. Oh, 27, sorry. I got it wrong, 27 years old. Still young, don't get me wrong, but people will confuse me for still being in high school. So if it wasn't for my height. Oh, you can't? Okay, thank you. I don't really get feedback from it. Does that sound better? Yeah, I don't really get feedback a lot of times. Sometimes I do, about how loud the sounds are, the audio. So I have to listen to my own phone to get it correct for people. Let me know if that can go up a little bit. It needs to be like a fine balance. There's something to where you can limit the voice. It decreases your voice as you hear it, and I still can't figure out what that is. I'm not really great with technology. Well, I got that wrong, didn't I? That's okay. I didn't take a trade on it, so it didn't happen. I really thought this thing would come lower than that. Looks like it's holding. Let me make sure this, sorry, I know this is a little bit weird. Let me make sure this is accurate. There we go. So that was the high. Maybe we weren't coming down that far. That's okay. Looks like it held. It's unfortunate. Doesn't look like. I'll look at gold again. Let me see if there's anything happening on gold over here. Oh, there it goes. It's moving up. Yeah, it's moving up to where I thought it would. Gold's on a good bullish trend. Let me see if I can put an alert right here. I don't want to sell M&Q because it's the general trend is bullish. The higher time frame trends to the upside. So I don't want to take a risk on selling it when I'm selling against the higher time frame trend. That's why when I put these lines, I'll put it red or green. Green means it's in favor of the trend, the higher time frame trend. Red means it's not in favor of the higher time frame trend. And so I just got to take it with caution, maybe limit my risk. There's liquidity, yes, but a lot of times with liquidity, if it's within the favor of the higher time frame trend, it's not going to give me a good risk to reward right here. So even if this did come down, I don't really have any space down here where I have a place to target. The only place would be here, and the likelihood that this would continue up grabbing this top liquidity first is way more likely. Out of a percentage game. Now it could come back down lower before breaking this high, and if that's the case, then my entry will be somewhere down here that I'm looking for a buy position. But some people do take liquidity trades like this. It just doesn't fit my general strategy. Here's my strategy if you're
Foundeo
wondering.
Orforglipron is now approved.
Really?
Yes, really.
There you go.
Foundeo
I don't know if you're
is
able to
now
see it.
approved. Talk to your doctor about a new once daily pill from Lilly. No insurance. Foundeo is available through Lilly Direct for one.
So it has to form that
Visit
inverse fair value gap
LillyDirect.com
on the
for full
liquidity
terms and
grab,
conditions.
so the breakup
Click the banner to
structure.
see indication
And then
50 summary with warnings, or visit
I need to see that candle
foundeo.lilly.com/risk.
body close in favor of the higher time frame trend against the lower time frame trend. So that's why this down here for me, and again, this doesn't have to be your strategy or anything like that. It's whatever you trade really, and you said you've passed some challenges or you could have withdrawn, so that, you know, that's all you need. Your strategy works, obviously works. But for example, I lost it. Was it on the 100 tick? I can't remember what tick it was on.
Seaweed? So good.
Oh god, I'm yawning.
This is a Bose moment. Your 10 boring blocks from home until the beat drops in Bose clarity. And the baseline
Was that on
transforms
gold that I was looking
boring
at the...
into
Oh yeah,
maybe
it was
best part of
gold
your
that I was
day.
looking at the long.
Your life
Right
deserves
here.
Music. Your music deserves Bose. Find your perfect product at Bose.com.
This is a perfect ideal trade for me. This one right here. And this gives me my overall trend for the higher time frame. Now again, this doesn't mean this can't come down here, come back to here. But in general, this is a pretty strong rejection without a retest. Rejecting off this liquidity, going in the favor of its higher time frame trend right here. So just because of that case, now we did create a lower low. So I got to be very aware of that because this was originally a high that we made and then we reversed it, grabbing that low. So this could do, you know, reverse it from this level up here, but I at least know that we're going to make it up to this level. So that's why I'm very long on gold right now until this level right here, which is, you know, intraday, within the day that we're trading it. And then if we reach that level up there, then... so I could technically, if I wanted to, if I saw it come back into this previous range, I could take a long, a trade, a buy. If I saw it come, you know, into here, I could do something like this. Hoping it continues its way up, or I can look for it to grab this liquidity down here, do something like this, target up to here, and just take a long trade. But I'm not really for a holding trade person. I don't like holding trades that long. Okay, so we grab that liquidity right there. How much do I sleep in a day? I do naps. I'm not a healthy sleep schedule person, sadly. Whenever I'm motivated to do, right now I'm doing my dissertation for my doctorate. So whenever I'm motivated to do that, I'll do it. I'll work on it. Whenever I'm motivated to sleep, I sleep. It's just not a healthy sleep schedule. I do usually get around 7 hours a night, though. I'll probably head to bed in about an hour, 45 minutes. Like 6 to 7 hours a night, probably somewhere around that. Okay, so this is a confirmed breaker structure now. Reverse the trend. We have liquidity below that with an obvious breaker, so I'm going to leave that there, but we do have a previous low here. And then my discounted zone, when we do return back into that zone, is going to be somewhere down here. We're generally bullish right now, so I could, you know, you could take a little scalp if you wanted to upwards, but we have this gap right here, and that gap's a little bit risky. Yeah, I'm trying to revive my channel to make myself motivated again to get on a schedule for trading, and that's I didn't lose passion for it, but I had a difficult, bumpy road. And it was affecting my performance in trading. It was affecting my performance in school. So I'm trying to get back into it. But usually with my streams, I don't recommend people join into my streams. I recommend people to just watch it afterwards, like the highlights of it. To see where I make mistakes or to see where I do well, because it just helps other people see alternatives to trading, see the reality of it. Because I'm technically still a struggling trader, no matter how profitable I am, right? I feel like within the past like few months, 3 months, I've gotten really good at controlling my emotions and a lot better at my risk management, which was fine before, but a lot better at my risk management. It's still very chaotic because I take trades that can last a minute. Let me show you my average time. So here's my trade win percent, my profit factor. You can see I'm negative right now on my average win to loss. Now, a lot of that was due to my challenge that I was doing. This was when I was doing the challenge right here. I wasn't able to trade on Sunday, and then this is when I just stopped doing the challenge. Right there. This one's been just consolidating. I haven't really been doing well. It's slowly moving up. I've been taking kind of iffy trades on it. A lot of times, my profit factor hasn't been what I've wanted to. It's been a 1-to-1. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Wow, this thing's just moving up. Well, here's the move down, I guess. But yeah, if you guys have any, again, if you ever want to like just entertainment, I'm probably gonna start just posting shorts of my trading and then just live streaming. I don't really like long form videos. I feel like with trading it's just very boring for me and for other people, and I don't have the time to edit with the very poor editing I do. One thing you'll never catch me do is sell anything, any course. The only thing I do is this code I have up on the screen, and it's not even a official like invite link code from Whatnot. Yeah, I'm looking for a buy down here. It's showing me some sort of a pullback, so I'm hoping that I'll see some sort of buy down here. What I would want to see here is not this first area right here. I want to see it come somewhere in the structure down here, right below it. Somewhere around this is my ideal area to see a rejection, and then I'll look for this formation. Act like it's coming up, fake it, and then do this. So that's what I would be looking for if it gives it to me. Looks like it's still trekking upwards. Sadly, I'm not a trend-based trader where this is where you use MACDs, moving average, anything like that. I do use fibs, yeah. I back tested this fib over enough to where if you know anything about standard deviations or but basically our error rates, if you know statistics, I backtested it enough to where the error rate doesn't really change that much for 100 more backtest. Sorry, forward testing. So forward testing is just live trading, taking it when it comes. So I've done it enough to where it's forward tested, and this is the highest likelihood area of giving me the best risk to reward with highest win rate in a Fibonacci. Now, does that mean it's gonna always bounce off of that? No. But if I do see an exact bounce off of that, then I need to, this would be an entry in that range. Stop would be below the previous low. I would just enter. I wouldn't even look for confirmation, and target would be at this 1.2 first, 1.4 exit partials, 1.6 exit partials, and that gives me a 1 to 4, 1 to 3.5 average, 1 to 4 average if I did it that way. But I've purely just been trading the inverse fair value gap on stream. Is the easiest one to find. With the other one, I have to look for trends like this. For example, areas like this where we hold after breaking liquidity. That's a perfect example of when to use my strategy. Something like that, where we hold after using liquidity. Or if we're in a confirmation trend, so we know we're moving up somewhere, things like this would work well. Like these types of areas. Looking for that setup. Because we've already confirmed our move upwards. So we grab this high, we confirm that high, and once we break the second high right here, we can look at the continuation to unfold. And maybe it would give me my strategy, maybe it wouldn't. Here it doesn't. Okay, cool. If we look at the next one, and within this minor structure, does this one give me a strategy entry? No. So I just wait until I get an entry. So then we look at the next one. And this one would be more like an order block, right? But this would give me an entry. It's in the red zone. I just instant buy somewhere kind of in the discount of that red zone, limit buy. So let's say I did that. And I would just enter without confirmation because I have an idea. I have a pretty good trend direction on the higher time frame where I think it would go. And then what I do, I exit partials here, exit partials here, exit partials here, and I trail it with each red candle. Highest win ratio of my entire life. That's hard. I think the highest risk to reward I've gotten, because I don't hold trades long. I hold them for about an hour. The highest one I've gotten is a 1 to... Oh, I know what it is. I tried to, and this isn't even good. This isn't even a good story. I tried to destroy my account. So basically with this funded challenge, you can't be above 51. You can't make more than 1,500 per day. So I was at 1,525. I was trying to get rid of my account, like get rid of $25. So I took a trade, and of course I get the trade wrong. So I just let it sit. I'm like, okay. So I traded with one contract for like $25 take profit to stop loss, right? This thing went from $25 to $1,500 on one contract with never retesting to my $25 stop loss. I didn't exit. It went back up because I still had to make it lose money. But it was during a news day on one contract. That was about 5 months ago, I think. And I was so pissed because, of course, I would want that on a normal account, right? The one time I'm just trying to trade against the trend, it works out. Yeah, it was insane and not on purpose because I usually do not hold it. The highest actual risk to reward I've taken, probably around a 1 to 8, 1 to 9 is the highest one I've gotten. Maybe a 1 to 10. I don't really go higher than that. I scare out pretty easily, to be honest.
Have you eaten yet? Click the banner to order now or find your nearest Panda
I'm not one of
Express.
those trying to catch the biggest risk to reward, sadly. I take so many trades in a day to get a profitable win rate. Because I can see 4 to 5 setups of my general strategy in an hour and a half on the tick time frame. Maybe not during the nighttime, but during New York session, I can see about 5 to 6 setups in an hour, and from 9:30 to 11 o'clock in the morning.
We're the Hartford. With
I want to
decades of
know. I'm actually
experience
interested what my
insuring
highest win
millions of
rate is on
unique
this.
small
Does it give me
businesses when it comes
times?
to your small business insurance.
Yeah, you could see that. If I exit
One
under
size
15 seconds,
absolutely
15 to
does not fit
45,
all.
it's
Get
usually
a
because
quote
I
or find
didn't
an
like
agent today at
the rejection.
thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
If it's 1 to 2 minutes, it's usually a shorter trade. So this is during New York session. If it's 2 to 5 minutes, it's okay. I'm just lost the trades. And then same thing with 5 to 10 minutes. This is how I've done on this. This is my past 2 days. This was when I was doing that challenge these 3 days. And then I accidentally traded yesterday right here on this account. So it ruined the challenge. And here's the other one, the other challenge I'm working on. I like New York so much better. So much better. Oh, let me fix my pattern stop loss. This is supposed to be 400. So I don't lose more than 400 in a day.
My siblings are perfect and I wish I were the same. Making bad decisions, it should be my middle name. I love playing with fire, it's my favorite. Watch me burn my whole house down, not feel a thing.
Let's see if gold is giving me another setup yet. On the 100 tick. Oh, like I said, I really want to see this come down to here. If I can get an entry down here, that's ideal for me because then I would want to see it come up to there. Are you 16? Okay. Oh, that might be why you couldn't withdraw from the funded account. It might not pay you until then. I don't know though. It could be either way. I still don't know the rules in India. That's awesome though. Oh, okay, cool. Dude, that's awesome if you've already started at 16-year-old. Keep sticking with it. I mean, even if you're not trading with real money, stick with it. Easiest way, I'll be honest, if you're a robot with emotions while trading, you'll go so far. And what I mean by robot, just executing like a robot would. Having one strategy, look at the market on a lower time frame, just execute. Have specific rules, execute it. You can't lose, really. You really cannot lose in trading. Take something that exists. Do not try to create something new. That's the best advice I could give for you. Take something that exists, make it better. Find your edge with something that exists. And I know when people say find your edge, right? But what I mean by finding your edge is finding something else that confirms it and makes it better. Something that exists makes it better. Like my strategy, maybe not the best out there, but in terms for me and what I can find quickly and what I like to see, and if I if I would stop trading against the higher time frame trend when I'm live streaming, that would be amazing too. But you know what I mean. In general, it's just take what you have, modify it, and make sure it works for you, because some strategies might be a lot better in terms of a win rate, but they're not going to work for your how you relate to them, if that makes sense, or how you react to them. Take anything, do not flip. Oh, last thing, do not flip strategies. Make sure you pick one that has a decent win rate from the start. And do not flip strategies. Do not change it around. Work with that strategy for the next year and don't change anything. In terms of don't change the core ideas or mechanics of the strategy itself. Just work and figure out how you can make that strategy work. And then later on, when you stick to that algorithm, those specific rules that you have, then you can move to a different strategy. Because you've built some sort of habit, and that's the key. You want to build a habit. You want to make this a daily routine. Every time you go to the market, you want to do the same thing, look at the same thing. If it's not there, exit the market, forget that you did it that day. which I struggle with. I'm very impulsive, so I've had a. You can probably look through some of my past streams and see the impulsivity come out. I'm very reactive as well. Oh, you trade on 3 months? I don't know why your message retracted. No? I'll be honest though, every time I trade, okay. Okay, so you made money off that strategy, and you're and you don't need to work because of it, or you just currently don't work and you're working on trading. Let me see what the sound sounds like. Does the music sound fine as well? No, I need to figure it out for next time. Oh, okay. So you use someone else's that existed. Okay. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I think it's a little bit hard to see. Oh, why my picture quality is pretty bad on this. If we could get it. Make it a little bit better for you. I don't know how that looks. Music is loud. Okay, let me fix it for you. It sounds a lot more quiet on my end. Okay, let's see if that sounds better. Oh, back testing. Yeah, that's the issue. A little bit lower, actually. Okay. Yeah, so the backtesting is good for identifying the win rate. The issue is you have to evaluate the standard error. So you need to take enough trades to where the error, and you can even use AI to do this now if you wanted to where the estimate of error, okay, is less than 5%. So that means if your win rate on the strategy is 55%, you need to have enough trades so you have a window of 5% less, 5% more, and you need to have a high enough risk to reward to make sure that it's profitable with fees and commissions. Then when you take it to the live account, it's not working because you're not implementing something that is very obvious to you during backtesting. So if you're backtesting, you can see the future trade or the future outlook, you're going to have bias towards it. So you need a forward test. So instead of taking a live trade, you need to use that same exact strategy. Identify the missing component is at the higher time frame that I'm missing. But just sit to the market an hour a day, okay, or whenever you're available, an hour a day, looking for your trade setup, and for the next month, and get enough trades to identify that error, that estimate of error. Okay. It's called a confidence interval. So when you like, I'm 95% confident that my win rate is between this percentage and this percentage. Okay. I took a strategy. I took it from someone else. I took part of it. The inverse fair value gap liquidity grab is what I took, and then I have specific strengths for it. So what I do is I analyze the higher time frame. And the nice thing about ticks, which is what I use ticks right here instead of the 1 minute. I know 100 ticks is exactly 50 times less than my 500 tick time frame. 500 ticks is exactly 10 times less than my 500 tick time frame. So I can use these two as my lower time frames, the 100 and 500, and 5,000 ticks is my higher time frame. And then I know where we are. If I know we're grabbing, so there's important liquidity and there's unimportant liquidity. I mentored myself. I've went through so much pain in my life. Pain doing this. I've never met anyone that's taught me anything. YouTube, I guess you could say, but I haven't used anything from YouTube. I've spent so many darn fucking hours on the charts. Sorry I cussed, but I spent so many hours. I'm probably around 12,000 hours on charts by now. Which drives you crazy, honestly. You don't need that many hours to get good at trading. You need to just be a robot. That's the best way to say it. You need to be a robot. Doesn't matter if I lose money. Doesn't matter if I win money this day. I know my strategy has a, good win rate. I'm going to come on this market. I'm going to execute it. If I lose, I lose. 1 trade a day. Next day, let's move to a next trade. And when we get comfortable with 1 trade a day, then we can move to 2 trades a day. And maybe the first trade is a lower position size to see if the market's in our favor. Maybe the first trades are normal position size. Or second trade is a lower position size if we win. Or we double the position. And you can figure these things out as you go along. And you can kind of play with them more so. But the first thing is taking 1 trade a day. Well, back testing first, forward testing first. I do know Umar, yeah. Do I love his strategy? No, it might work for him, but I don't love his strategy. It's a very simple, kind of basic strategy that he uses with a higher time frame trend. If it's the person I'm thinking of. There's a lot of traders I don't love. Someone I used to like a lot, he traded based off of ICT concepts and principles, but he did really well at it. I don't like ICT. He did really well at it. His name was Nos Trading, and I used to be in his Discord. I liked his type of trading style a lot. So I did take the idea of the 1 minute time frame from him. And then I moved to the 100 ticks recently, about I would say 8 months ago. I like the 100, the 500 ticks and the 5,000 ticks a lot more. I don't trade I've liked them a lot more, I would say. The issue is during New York, the 100 ticks has issues with calculating quickly. The ticks calculating quickly, but my strategy, I have a video, my first live stream back after like 4 months. If you go back on my video, I explain my strategy in detail. It's not very hard. The main thing is identifying important liquidity versus unimportant liquidity, okay? So if I scroll out here, we have important liquidity, and I'll mark them for you. We have important liquidity there. We have important liquidity here. We have important liquidity here. And that's all I see. Then I can scroll in. This is not important liquidity. This is telling me as if, okay, do we have a chance of giving a retracement, okay? Do we have a chance of retracing, continuing this trend, okay? Then what I can look at, okay, let's look at this, where we are in this. All right, do I want to take the risk of a trade? And let me take my Fibonacci and add the 0.5. There we go. Okay. So then let me look at this. All right. Anything below this 0.5 level that's is a good trade. I can look for trade setups. And the reason why is because we've already reversed. This is where we, you know, moved against a structure that's going down, right? This is the last high. We broke this high, we held, and we continued up, okay? So anything below this 0.5 of this area I'm looking at right here, from this high and low where we have these two important liquidities, which is just market structure, is good to take my second strategy on, okay? Or look for my first strategy on. Anywhere where we're looking for liquidity, okay, so let's say now I move it down to the previous high and low. Anywhere below this 0.5 is where I can look for my counter strategy. So the strategy I showed you on the stream. This one. So anywhere where you see that strategy right there is what I'm looking for, all right? Below this level. So then you can notice I have some continuation here. Well, okay, we have market structure, and I know this is a very high time frame, okay? We have market structure right here. We have market structure. Cool. Where this was our previous high. I'll mark this out for you to give you an idea. Previous high. All right. This is the high we're looking to break. Okay. And this is the high, this is the low. Liquidity. So low, that last low. Okay, so this is the last low that returned in the structure. Now, why is this not a low per se in market structure? Because we haven't confirmed that we're breaking this high yet, okay? So this could still do something like this if it really wanted to on this higher time frame. We still could come down anywhere this area to continue, still be in a trend that's moving upwards, okay? And continue up to here. We could still do that, technically. All right, so we have an idea there. So these are important liquidity. And the last important liquidity we have is down here, okay? Because this is the previous low, and if we break this, then we're reversing the trend. So this is all that's important to me in terms of liquidity, in terms of identifying my trend. Then we can zoom in. All right, and then we can chart these previous highs and lows. So then we have a previous high and low right here. And this is the last thing. Let me make sure. This is the last previous high and low that was retested. That makes sense. So this tested upwards, came down, and then we never saw a previous high and low retest back into this range. So this is the last valid high and low. So if we're looking for important liquidity within the structure, my important liquidity would be right here within the structure. Okay, so this is important. Anything on this end is not important liquidity, but it does tell me if it's going to have a little retest or a little loss of strength. And the reason why none of these are important is because we're in a bullish trend. These are trying to convince you that we're going to move down, but these are important. This is the only important thing we're looking at because this is our higher time frame trend and maybe anything that's close to it. All right. So, yeah, so we have these two. Reason this is important, let's follow the market structure from where we reversed off that liquidity. So we had high, low, right? High, low. Well, we can really track any of these too. Sorry. High, low, if you really wanted to. These are still technically at high, low. High, low. Maybe you could argue this isn't par one, so this might be another thing. You might be able to argue, actually, this is unretested as well. So this is important liquidity too. So if we break below this, most likely we're going to ignore this one right here. And come back into this area. And maybe we'll have a small bounce. So that might be important liquidity, okay? So now I'm just drawing a bunch of lines. Yeah, I understand that. There are a bunch of lines, but these are important areas I want to keep an eye on to see how it reacts. Okay, and we're generally reacting bullish. Okay, cool. So we saw all this liquidity. Now all we have is anything above this. So anything above this is a wild card, right? Now, then that's where this comes into. This might act as maybe important liquidity for a temporary retest. So where, yeah, this is a high, but we can see that this Held strength. This held strength right here. I couldn't even tell you, dude. I'm profitable for the past 2 years, I would say. I lost before that. Barely profitable last year. Took a lot of challenges, made a lot of stupid decisions last year. In terms of September last year, I was not in a good headspace. That's what I was saying. I was out of the hobby. Recently, pretty good. I've been doing well. I couldn't give you a specific profit loss. I would say I've bought so many accounts challenged. I've lost money early on in my trading. Probably down overall early on in my trading because I lost a decent amount early on in my trading. I was really good for the first 2 to 3 years. And then for year 4 and 5, I went off the deep end. I would have really good 2 months, and then I had a day or maybe a week. I was just losing my head, going very impulsive, taking stupid trades that aren't even fitting my strategy, getting angry buying new accounts. When I say buying new accounts, I would buy 5 accounts maybe in a week, and that's $100. And why did I have that much money? I had savings. It was gambling. It got to gambling at a point, and that's why I stepped away from trading for a while. I didn't necessarily step away from trading. I stepped away from doing it every day because I was driving myself crazy with my schooling and with my work because I was working 3 jobs. So instead of trading, I was gambling at a certain point, and I knew I was gambling and working heavily on stopping that. And that's honestly, live streaming does help me with that. It helps me with impulsivity. But recently it's been going really well. I've passed 4 accounts. 3 jobs, yeah. I'm doing my doctorate program. I had 1 semester. I was taking 6 classes. I was teaching 6 classes. I was working 3 or 4 days a night at a restaurant. I can't remember. I think it was 3 days a night at a restaurant. And then I was refereeing soccer/football. Yeah, no problem, man. Hopefully that was helpful. I was refereeing soccer/football 2 days a week. Pretty sure that 5 months I was manic. Hopefully that's all helpful, though. I mean, I try to specify that very early on. I'm not a full-time trader, so people know this is more of a hobby. But I want to be as transparent as I possibly can with people. It's more of a journey thing than actually being, and hopefully eventually I'll make a substantial income from it. But it's not my main goal. I really want to do psychology. But I would love to do it off my own volition and not have to do it with companies. To not like be able to do it as more of charity. See if I can fix this. There you go. I might take a long trade and just call it a night and see how it goes. Go sit in my room and then make this a YouTube short and just let my recording play with it.
You know what they say. Early bird gets the ultimate vacation home. Book early and save over $120.
If this gives me a setup in a second.
Because early gets you closer to the action. Whether it's waves lapping at the shore or snoozing in a hammock that overlooks, well, whatever you want it to.
Yeah, hopefully I do hope that everything helped you out though. And just realize that your trading is your own trading.
Average savings $141. Select homes only.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy.
I am, yeah. I'm gonna wait for a confirmation on it. It goes against my back testing, but I'm not confident enough this won't grab this liquidity below that I was marking right here. This is the area. If this breaks this, then I think we're gonna have a deeper retest. So if this breaks this, we're gonna see something very similar. We're gonna see something similar to this. And then if we have that, high, low, maybe it actually might continue up if we break that. There's a chance, but I would want to see this come lower. But if we hold this, there's always, I'm going to say this, there's always a chance we could do something like this and work its way back up and show that strategy, show a setup for my strategy. But I would like to see this come into my Fibonacci level and hold. I don't necessarily need confirmation for this strategy though, which is nice. This is within a range that I would feel comfortable. This is just such a strong rejection though. I don't know if I would want to take the risk of taking this all the way to the high here. Okay. Oh, Jesus. So that's technically a setup, but not really. This is another area where you would think, oh, it's important liquidity, and I've made this mistake so many times. This is not important liquidity. This is within this trend, so it's technically not important liquidity, although it could still work out. Let's look at the 500 tick, see if anything else is appearing. Now this is something I like. I like that we're holding this gap right here, right after grabbing this liquidity at the 1 to 2. Entering right at the 1 to 2. I'm very convinced to enter a trade and just target a 1 to 1 or a 1 to 2. Sorry, at the 20% Fibonacci. Let me see how this would look. Maybe not necessarily right there, but if I could get it in a little bit lower. I actually don't mind this. I know that's crazy. I don't mind this as a trade. This is not actually a bad trade if I can get in there, because I do believe it will reach up to here. It's not a great trade, but it's not a bad trade. So if I could get lower entry, I would like that a lot. Because the lower I get, the lower I can put my take profit. If I wait for a breakout for this one, it kind of violates my own strategy. The only issue I have with this one, with this specific trade, is that this is moving so bearish quickly. Which is a good sign we could get a retest very early on. Ooh, this would be a really good entry if we could reject right now. It's a really good area. This is a really good area for rejection if we could get my confirmation with my strategy right here. I'm about to enter a position and we'll see if it works out later. Because this is, if this holds, this is a really good position entry for me. This gives me both my strategies as confirmation. Okay, let's get an entry. I need to figure out the math here. I actually don't even know the math. I should have done that before. 50 contracts. That's $75 I'm risking. Should have $75, 2 contracts. Okay, 5 contracts is what I need to risk. If we make it down to here. It's a strong rejection. I want to go ahead and enter 1 contract as
Order filled.
to make sure I get into something. Just to see if it would work. And that way I can kind of end this without having to wait for that limit buy to go in. So 1 to 1. Yeah, that's fine. So that's a 1 to 1 because I entered that late. But if this comes back down to here, then that would give me a 1 to 2. I actually don't need that much. I need right here. So if we retest back down, I'm kind of sad I didn't enter immediately on that. It gave me a perfect setup. It should retest though, so I'm not that worried. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. We're gonna let it move. I'm sorry, I can't hold out. I can't hold out for another hour. I'm tired. So I'm just gonna let this move while I sleep. I really hope I might need to wait till it taps in before I get off though. Taps in that 5 contracts. It should retest. Hit this. It should hit this order block, retest back down. And this should move. Oh, this is gonna be a beautiful trade. I feel like if it works out the way I want it to. Let me do this. This one. Wait. 1 contract's $40. Did I do my math that wrong? Oh no, I entered. Okay, that's 80 pips, so that makes sense. $40 is 50 cents per contract. $2.50, and from that area, what would that be? $2.50. 25. Okay, cool. $125 and then plus 40, $165. Be risking $165, and then what would I be gaining here? 150 for roughly around 375. Yeah, around 375 I would gain here. Maybe a little bit less. So my risk to reward should be at a 1 to 2 if that gets tapped in, which I really hope this gets tapped in. It doesn't look like it is. Oh man, I really needed a full position size here. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. I try to teach people, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is as much for me as it for people that's watching. Not financially by any means, but in terms of like a journal, seeing what I was going through, making sure I have something I can look back at to make sure to see when I was trading well versus trading poorly, no matter what my win or loss is. Because I could have a winning day and be trading terrible, and I could have a losing day and been trading really well. And that all depends, am I sticking to my strategy dead on? And I haven't had a lot of winning days. Good day, not winning days, good days. This is a great trade. And I can look at this later and say that this is a good trade. No matter what the outcome is here, this is a trade that follows both my strategies to the T. Now, the only thing that I'm not following to a T, and that's only because I don't like the strength of this move right here, how strong this is moving bearish, is my take profit. My take profit should be up here at this 1 to 2. The only reason I'm not doing that is because I'm going to sleep and I can't just watch it. Can you tap me in so I could get off? No. No, you're not going to tap me in. It's 3 o'clock. It's going to move straight up. Yeah, it's going to grab all this liquidity. We held right there. It's going to continue to move up, maybe. All right. I might just have to take this. I really hope it taps me in. I refuse to get in any other area than where I'm looking at. Not supportive. Suspicious. Kind of waving it off as like a weird hobby. Does that make sense? Weird interest. Not supportive, but not interested. I tried to teach one of my friends how to trade, and they just wanted to gamble. So they got overwhelmed by what I was saying. I taught another guy that I met online. I don't know how he's doing now, but he really liked how I taught him in terms of how I explain market structure, and I hope he's doing well. He seemed very motivated. He was already motivated for a year before that. I taught him twice. Had two calls with him for free twice, and he liked it a lot. He was above 18 though, which I have to make sure I do.
Enterprise payments work better with the right partner. Adyen combines
Oh my god, ads. I just need to make sure that this is not going to stop me out. What I don't want to see, and has happened before, is I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this move up to my take profit and then not exit me out of these limit buys. And so I want to see me either get put in these limit buys or enough confirmation that we're halfway up. We've moved halfway up to where I just exit these limit buys and take a very small win today because I didn't enter a full position. But I hope it gives me an entry with the limit buys. It doesn't actually look like it. If we get up to 30, oh, well, exactly where we are. Okay, well, I'm just going to let it move. At this point, to make this worth it, I need at least 70. All right, I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to have to head off though, man. It was nice meeting you. Thank you for sticking around. I'm going to be posting a lot more. So if you ever miss any streams or anything like that, it's okay. Doesn't matter to me. I'll be posting a lot more YouTube shorts, kind of like sped up versions of my thought process where it just has text and songs and then me in the background. I think that's the best way for me, for my time restraint. And then also just so I can do what I enjoy as a hobby. And I can look back at it as a journal. But I will talk with you again later. I will be live maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I got to get a lot of stuff done that I decided to procrastinate on today. See you guys later.